YouTube channel near you.
Content advisory warning. The contents of this podcast will offend the easily offended. What you are about to hear is not intended for children, the puritanical, or the narrow-minded. We will offend. Sometimes we will make corrections, but we will always discuss without canceling, because we cannot become better individuals if we are not willing to have open and honest discussion. This is your only warning.
For more awesome content, like and subscribe now. Warning, some viewers may find the following footage deeply disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Content advisory warning.
I hit the wrong button! I hit the wrong button!
I find you deeply disturbing, Scott.
Yes. So, hello and welcome to the dumpster fire conversation. I am Scott, the bird watcher and turd polisher, here with From Here to Paternity, and I will pass it on to Big D.
What's up? Big D, man with plans. And I will pass you on to Eric, the also known as Tug.
Yes, that's me. I am the unapologetic geek. I am 20% complete in my transition into a cyborg, and I will pass it on to my other co-host, Joe.
Hello, how's it going? Y'all hear me all right? That
Yep.
sounds super quiet to myself. Yeah. All right. So what's your next upgrade, Eric?
Oh, I gotta show you. I got the diabetes thing. It's like a
Oh,
little,
you got
did you get that?
Ah,
the sensor?
Yeah, I got it. The sensor, yeah, and I just like hook my
The
phone
little
up to
pump.
it, and Yep, it's pretty cool. Like now, I
Yeah.
can keep track of my blood sugar constantly. Like I don't even have to like prick my fingers or anything anymore. It's nice.
cool.
That's fantastic.
Except for
That's
when you
nice.
have to calibrate the damn thing.
Well, yeah, but that's only the first day. This
That's-
thing lasts for 14 days. It's
Yeah.
really weird. Like, I can take showers with it and everything. It's fine. It's waterproof. But every once in a while, like, because I roll around a lot in my sleep, I'll wake up and there'll be like a little spot of blood on there. And I'll be like, ah!
He's leaking.
So does it like
Yeah,
prick
that
you?
plus I got hearing aids. Yeah, I
Oh,
think there's
oh, yeah.
I'm not entirely sure, but I do think that there's like a needle that sticks into my arm. Because like
Oh.
they give when you apply it, there's like the special applicator, and it's like this like it looks like a little stamp, right? And you like put it on the back of your arm, and you push it down, and it goes stunk, and it just like gets stuck to you. I am worried about how it's going to come out because I have to replace it after 14 days. So we'll find out in a couple weeks.
So, do you rotate it? Like, do you rotate
Well, like every
arms,
time
or-
I get a new one, every 14 years, I put it like on the other arm, and then I put it on this arm, and then I put it on that arm. That's how it's supposed
Yeah,
to work,
alternating
anyway.
arms. Okay.
I've only had it for a day, so yeah.
No, I was just kind of curious because typically, like, you'll have to like rotate areas and things like that.
Well, yeah, and even when you do put
I
it
just
on
wasn't sure.
the same arm that you did like the last time, like you would move it to a different spot, but it would still be somewhere on the back of your arm.
Yeah.
So
price up area is
apparently the stray cats I've been feeding are not eating all their food, and now have 2 stray raccoons I'm staring at right now.
Those are not cats.
I want to go out there and pet them, but they're one's staring at me right now. Hey, that's not your food. Anyway,
It's in the wild, so
robbers.
it kind of is. you
It
you
is
don't choose
outside.
that.
It must be
right?
theirs, you know.
Exactly.
You
have
put
let
this here
it
for
go.
us, didn't you? They are very cute. I'll give them that. Yeah, he's you're cute. Yeah, that's why I don't shoot you. Anyway,
So today we are talking about we are doing a roundtable discussion of multiple different conversations.
I'll be Lancelot.
and topics.
why can't it be square? Why does it have to be round? I mean, we can each take a side.
Is there
Oh, hey,
All right, fine. I'll sit at the head of the table.
No, a square table, not a rectangular table. A square table.
It's okay. We're doing a rectangular table, and I'm sitting at the head, and so or we could just do the round table.
you always sit near the head, Scott?
Yeah, that's
He loves sitting near the head.
course.
That's just his whole thing.
so. We're gonna so we discussed different topics that we thought that we'd like to talk about, and so to kind of and that we can all interject on and discuss. So without ado, Damien, I'm going to let you start.
Okay. All right. So cicadas. So we all know about cicadas. I'm sure everybody's at some point experienced the buzzing sound that it will, never ending, extremely loud outside your house buzzing sound of the cicadas. And, depending on which brood we're talking about, they all appear at different times of the year. Well, apparently,
Maybe discuss because
or not times of year, but different.
No.
Years.
What I'm saying is maybe discuss because anybody on the West Coast is not going to know what know
that's
much about
right. I
because they're only an East Coast event.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. East Coast and kind of central United States kind of thing.
Yeah, we see them here in the Midwest. So.
Yeah, well, typically, more easternly. Around the
So,
give it time, Scott.
yeah,
they'll come
around
to
the
you.
I know, right?
Yes.
Around the Mississippi and east. So
The apocalypse is coming. Don't worry. They're coming for you.
not before the giant super volcano explodes. So
Anyway, so they're kind of like, I don't know how to best describe them. They're kind of like look a little bit like a locust, but not really. They have big old
like
wings.
a cross between like a locust and a horsefly.
Yeah. They're about the size of a palmetto bug, but of course you guys don't have those on the West Coast, do you? So they're about that big, a couple inches long, and big old bug eyes on their foreheads. And depending on which brood we're talking about, some of them have red eyes, some of them have body colored eyes, and they're different colors, different colored wings, yada yada yada, depending on when they come. And there's different broods of them where some of them come out every 12 years, some of them come out every 17, some of them come out every 8, and they're all on different cycles. This year it's like, what is it, 3 or 4 different broods are all coming out at the same time. I can't remember exactly which number it is.
Something like that, yeah.
They've synced, they've all kind of synced together. And so they're all coming out at once. And yeah, there's a cicada right there. Look at that. And that's what they look like. They're big old bastards, and they make a lot of noise. I mean, it's loud.
Way
it's
more than you
loudest.
think is possible.
Yeah, it's like 120 decibel buzzing sound. So, or something like that. It's like 110, 105, 110, 120.
same as
depending.
a chainsaw.
Yeah. Buzzing sound. And, I remember when I first moved to Florida, I had one right outside my window. It happened to be a year that the cicadas came out of the ground, and I had one right outside my window. And all summer long, or I wouldn't say all summer long, but that summer, the buzzing was so loud. It was just obnoxious. It's like I wanted to go outside and kill it, whatever it was. I couldn't ever find the damn thing. So it was one of these bastards. Anyway, so what they do is they suck on like the roots of trees and plants down underground for years and years, and then one day they all emerge from their nymph state? I can't remember. They molt and they become these guys, and then they start making noise because they're trying to attract a mate. They're trying to mate. So the males make all this noise to attract a female so that they can make additional cicadas. And so what's going on now that's a little bit different, and I don't know, I know it's not a new thing, it's happened before, but quite a few of these guys are coming out of the ground infected with fungus that not only is making them super sexual, like they are making noise like nobody's business. They want to get it, you know. They're going
Prince.
for it no matter what. Yeah. But also the males will also act like they'll do a wing flutter thing, which is what the females do to attract males. They'll actually also do that. So they're kind of doing a bisexual thing here. They're like, I just want to get with anybody. I don't care who it is, you know, guys, girls, whatever. Let's
Like
go.
Madonna.
You know? Yeah. Madonna cicadas. So this fungus infects their body, and it releases all of these chemicals into their body that make them super sexual and make them want to, mate with anybody and anything, basically. And while it's doing that, it's also eating their entire abdomen and their genitalia, so they can't mate if they wanted to.
Their bunghole and their genitalia.
Yeah, and eventually their entire abdomen just falls off. You know, I mean, just kind of. I mean, imagine if you look down one day and like there's just nothing there, nothing down there, nothing going on in your midsection. It all just kind of rotted off. You know. But they don't care. They don't care. They don't feel it. They don't even know what's going on. They're just like, yeah, I got to get some. And the whole purpose of, you know, being super sexual and having this drive to mate, even though they don't have any of the parts to do so, is so that they can spread the fungus to other cicadas and thus, you know, continue the life cycle of this fungus. It's kind of one of those, like, you know, crazy to me kind of thing. Because, like, you know, this isn't unique in the animal kingdom. It also happens to, I think there's a wasp that gets a fungus that takes over their body or something like that, or an ant.
Ants, yep.
Yeah. It happens to a number of different insects where they, and I think there's even was it a snake or something? There's another animal that can be infected with a fungus that drives them towards water. You know, they have to go to water kind of thing. I can't remember which one it is. I'm sure somebody knows out there. But anyway, this is not unique, but it kind of brings to mind that whole game Last of Us, you know, where the
cordyceps,
the zombies are, you know, carrying a fungal spore. They're infected with a fungal spore, and they become zombies. Well, these cicadas are basically zombies. So they're zombie cicadas. So they're dead cicadas walking.
Well, and it's
fucking without their
better.
genitalia. Yeah.
I was about to say it's
exactly.
a little bit better because the copulation happens prior to it entirely like coming off, but that's one of the issues.
But they continue to want to even after it comes off.
Yeah, after
which
it's
is
gone, right.
You know, and so
Exactly.
they'll do the whole mating thing with other other, you know, females or males even when they don't have any of those parts on them anymore, and spread the fungus. So
it's like a David Cronenberg nightmare. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then it uses psilocybin, and it uses the chemical, the same chemical that's used in bath salts. Yeah. So it's right.
So
which is it's the same chemical that they use to make bath salts, right?
Yeah.
It's the same type of.
So are people in Florida going to grab up all these cicadas and like make them into
I was
powder
worried
and
about.
start snorting them? Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! Because
Don't
like
put
if
it
you
past
think about
It's
it,
Florida.
And that's
like
that's how the apocalypse starts right there. The fungus infects a few people, and next thing you know, we got
Start
zombie
eating
humans, and
faces
it's the Last
and-
of Us.
yeah.
You know,
it absolutely will start in Florida. Like
We
we
all
see
know that, yeah.
100%.
But it's just it's funny to me. We got tripping, tweaking cicadas running around out there trying to get laid
yeah.
without parts.
It is Florida.
So just so that we are claiming it now, right? We are stating
If
this
Florida
here
man was a bug,
now.
that would be it, right?
Florida is the Wuhan of the U.S. Okay, when this spreads everywhere, Florida is the Wuhan of the U.S. So
Can we just call it the Florida man disease? That would be great.
oh god, right? Like this whole like zombie cicada. No, it's Florida man cicadas.
Mm-hmm.
That's the STD riddled zombie. Like that's redundancies. Just say Florida man cicadas, and all of that is covered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm with you.
and they're coming in hot. Wrong vowel.
Really
Yeah.
hot.
Rotting anus and genitalia, tripping balls coming for you.
Yep.
Florida man. All
I have
redundancies.
nightmares.
Okay. I know, right?
I almost sleep like a fucking baby.
And this is all going to like, and it's billions to trillions.
Yes.
Of cicadas,
Trillions
right?
of them. Yeah.
And
They believe it's
so-
over a trillion cicadas all emerging
Yeah.
at the same time.
And here's the problem: is that with the climate crisis, this
They're
is
coming
going
earlier.
yes, and this is going to be a bigger issue because of all
Even
of the ways
hotter.
that cicadas. Well, yeah, but it hotter earlier.
Joke.
And so, right, it's going to get hot early, y'all. So today, so in the latest, hi, I'm Stefan, and in the latest club, it's you'll be able to snort STD riddled cicadas and just mate all night, but then your junk falls off. And so,
It just,
If they're
rots off.
trying
It
to
just
mate
falls,
like the dolls from Team America, and it's just like there's nothing there and they're just banging against each other, does that still count as an STD? Like, is that really a sexually transmitted disease at that point?
no, but no, it is until it isn't. Right? It is an STD until things rot off and fall off, and then it isn't anymore. But no, so because of the climate crisis, they'll be popping out sooner, meaning that more of the cicadas are going to be catching this and spreading it, which could devastate their numbers. And they're an incredibly important for the ecosystem because of all they do for the soil, that they do for animals, that they do for just plants, all that different stuff. Like, they're incredibly important. And, so it's just one more thing that
Let them die.
yeah. And so
We'll figure it out.
I think
Hey,
we'll see.
hey.
I think much like the Wuhan flu there or whatever. We'll see the first crossovers into birds and things like that if it were to jump species. So anyway.
well, I don't know, I don't know why it would, I don't know the species that's closest to them, so I don't know.
And we don't know its pathophysiology. Like,
Yeah.
it's
We have no
it's
idea,
a fungus.
Yeah, the
So
reason
it's not like a virus or a bacteria.
Yeah.
So like it's
And
really
just-
hard to
just
tell
so
like,
everybody
what
knows,
species
just-
it could jump to.
Just so everybody knows out there that might think, hey, I want to go eat some cicadas because they'll make me high. You would have to eat thousands of them. Thousands. You would get
But there are
sick long
trillions,
before.
so
Well,
there's enough to go around.
I mean, yeah.
They're eaten by birds,
easier
mammals,
ways, y'all.
bats,
Like
wasps.
cannabis.
And hey, all the protein you'd get would help against climate change, because then you wouldn't have to be farming land for cows.
Yes. You're not eating cows at that point or chickens or anything else.
You're doing it
But
for
you're just
nature.
eating the cicadas. Yeah.
Y'all, cannabis is legal in most states now. Just do that. It's easy. It's easy. Don't eat.
Yeah, well, that's why it's not
Don't
fun
eat an
anymore.
acid
It's
cicada.
too easy.
Oh, I know, right? I know, like alcohol stopped being fun. Like, oh, I gotta get hangover, and it's okay. This isn't cool. And so,
Yeah, people were getting drunk in the 20s for fun, and then in the 30s, it wasn't fun anymore.
right? And then, I was getting drunk before my 20s, and that was when it was fun. And then when I got to my 20s, I was like, I'm not. This is no longer fun anymore. Like, it's the taboo is gone. So yeah, I like this one's like funny. It's crazy. It's fascinating, and it also is a little bit ominous. So, and first they came for the cicadas, and Eric, I said nothing. And then, I had to. I know.
No, that's great. Yes, I highly approve.
Why,
Hey,
why
what
do
am I
you
doing
and
over
Joe
here?
Keep on
There we go.
flipping. I know. You guys keep on flipping. Like, what's going on?
Stop it!
Ah,
Stop it!
All right. Okay. So next on the list, Eric.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me get up my phone. And since it's a stupid Face ID thing, there we go. I wanted to talk about IRL streamers because this is a different kind of parasite. These are like parasocial parasites. First of all, I want to talk about Johnny Somali because he's the one who is probably the most famous for just being a international jackass. This is a guy who goes from country to country, just being a dick and streaming it live on the internet. And the people who watch his streams, like, okay, let me back up. An IRL stream is in real world, in real life stream. It's basically just recording your everyday life and putting it on the internet. Like, it's
So like
just
a
constant
vlog,
24 hours.
but
It's kind of like a
streaming.
vlog, yeah. But what happens is now that it's live streaming and you've got an audience, this audience is like going to encourage you. It's going to like push you to do things that you wouldn't normally ordinarily do to make it more interesting. And for clicks and for likes and for subscribes, you're going to do more and more ridiculous things, right? This is how you get people like literally shitting their pants on stream, you know, just for clicks. And Johnny Somali is a perfect example of this. This guy has a bunch of people in his chat telling him to do ridiculous things. Like, as a joke, they said go to Japan and start like going on the railway system and not paying and immediately getting off. And he got fucking arrested for that, among other things. And just recently, he got arrested in Israel because he was going around shouting ethnic slurs to just random strangers on the street. And when a female cop approached him, he started sexually harassing her. And so the Israeli cops just, after, you can actually see it, you watch clips, don't actually watch it from Johnny Somali's YouTube or Kick channel, but, you know, watch clips of it where the cops, you can see the moment they just decide, okay, enough of this fucking asshole.
You
And
suck.
they literally pick him up from all four limbs and carry him away, screaming and yelling. And this is immediately after he'd gotten into a bar fight where he'd like gotten his ass kicked, which is beautiful.
And
They said
that
they were
image,
gonna
That's
keep-
on our thumbnail. That's on our thumbnail.
Yeah, that's the image on the thumbnail where they're carrying him around. Yeah. He was supposed to be in prison for at least a year. Yeah, there he is. But they let him out because they suck.
Of course they did.
And now he's apparently going to try this in China because that's what his chat's telling him to do. So that we may have heard the last of Johnny Somali at this point. If he actually does do that shit in China, he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
You might get
It's over.
disappeared. Yeah, you might get
Yeah.
disappeared.
Well,
But he's just
'cause
one
I-
example of this phenomenon.
You know, there's a
Go
lot
ahead,
of
go
bodies
ahead.
buried in the Great Wall of China. You know, and they can just bury one more.
Yeah.
Nobody will know.
He had also mentioned when he was leaving Israel that he was going to go back to the U.S. and then he was thinking about going to South America, and that's where I brought up the Narco Queen,
Right,
who
right.
was a YouTuber or like a TikToker, and she was the head of a narco gang, and ended up.
And she met a girl in
Yeah, she met a girl in prison who was also in a narco family.
Who was also a narco queen, basically.
Yeah. And she was
And then she gets out and gets
YouTubing.
shot dead on stream. Yeah.
Yeah, not on stream. She got shot somebody like saw it and recorded her being shot.
Oh, okay.
And like she got oofed for real. Like she got
That's
killed
what happens
for real.
when
She
you're
did not. Yeah, she
Dealing
did not.
with that kind of shit.
There's a guy that did a video on it. His name's Ray William Johnson. I'm gonna put it in the details, so you can click on his video about it, because like what my concern is that the people watching Johnny Somali do not actually like him.
No, they
And-
don't. They're poking and prodding him because they like to see him fail. They like to see him get beat
Right.
up. They're the ones who tell him to yell ethnic slurs in a bar and just watch as he gets beat up on stream. I mean, that's their whole shtick. This is like this is what I mean by parasocial parasites. It's like they're doing this. They think they're doing it for attention and they think they're doing it for, love. But the people on the other end of the computer screen are just trolls. That's all they are. They're just trolling him. Like 90% of the people watching Johnny Somali hate him.
They're not laughing with you. They're laughing at you. Right. And so it's I like if he goes to South America or if he goes to, because now South America is becoming much like there are some
there are places you definitely don't want to go in South America. Yeah.
There's like there are some dictators that are getting elected now on a great, like a much greater, like Argentina is the most recent that had like a fascist like dictator, like an extreme like libertarian, like psycho libertarian, like the people that
we don't
Eric
claim him
like right and and he's dismantling the entire like country. It's like going into chaos, but he's like very, very dictatorial. A number of people in South America are getting elected that are like dictatorial and despotic. And you start messing around with some of those regimes and, you will not, like Damien was saying, you'll end up in the Great Wall of China. You will end up in one of these like, archaic burial sites.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've got these.
They'll just disappear you. You'll be gone.
You will fall in a hole and never be heard from again.
You've got these kids, these degenerate kick streamers that like, they don't really understand the world and they go to places where they really shouldn't be going. Like you got another guy called Neon who was recently arrested in Dubai because he didn't know that it is against the law in Dubai to record somebody against their will. Like anybody, like you can't film on a street and have somebody in the background. Like that is illegal and you can face heavy fines for that. And he goes to private property and is filming, he's live streaming on private property and cops approach him and they tell him to stop. And as they're escorting him away to put him in prison, he's still got the live stream running and he's telling the cops that that he's turned off the cameras, but obviously he hasn't. So now he's also added lying to cops, which is a gigantic deal in Dubai, and also filming cops, which is also a big no-no in Dubai. So he is facing up to 90 years in prison just because he's an idiot. Like, what the fuck? So I bring these up because, like, as parents, we got to raise our kids better than this shit, man. This is insane. What is wrong with these people?
That's where
a lot of people seem to think that because they're Americans or whatever, that those rules apply everywhere, and it's like no, they have different rules altogether in different countries.
Yeah, Johnny Somali, one of his things is that like whenever he gets called out for being a jerk, he's just like, I'm an American, you can't do anything to me because I'm an American, and yeah, that doesn't go over well.
No.
Well, but you got to think about this. Like, what are kids seeing when it comes to like American behavior in general? Like, we are the big sweet, like we're the big, big D swinger. No.
We're the
I'm
big
not
swinging...
going into. Yeah, the big swinging D, right? We're the big D swinger.
The big D.
Right? And we kind of impose ourselves in a lot of different places and in a lot of different ways. Like,
hey, when it's big, it imposes itself. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right. When you've got the CN Tower, it goes where it wants. Like, where does but it, and I get this, like, where does a 400-pound elephant or a 400-pound gorilla sit? Wherever it wants, right?
Yeah.
Like, and, but when we see that America can do anything without consequence, right? That there's no accountability for our country, or for our Congress or our leaders, right? Like when you see like the people in power like get away with breaking the law and a two-tier system, right? That we've established kind of both in our own country and globally, then kids that haven't got a fully developed brain, when they go and say, like when he says, I'm an American, I think he earnestly believes that. I think like he believes that that's right? So then where did he learn that from?
I mean, I don't disagree with you. It's just not the angle I was going with. Like,
Right. I just like so
but I agree with you.
But
I don't think you're
right.
wrong.
So and I agree with you. We have to raise our kids better. But that's where I get like all of my like past rants, right? That parents don't have the time or the emotional availability to like raise their kids.
But I just worry about this culture that's coming out of this, even with not just kids but also adults. Like another recent example is this woman named Elisa Jordana, who used to be on the Howard Stern show for some reason. I don't know. Apparently, she's been live streaming her life, and she's been getting a lot of what's the word? God damn it, I can't remember the name. But basically, piggies. Something piggies is the term, and they're basically pay piggies. That's it, pay piggies. This is just guys who will pay anybody with a pair of tits lots and lots and lots and lots of money constantly. Okay. So like she just shows up on stream, goes about her day-to-day life, has a pair of tits, and makes millions, right? So she was live streaming while driving a car, having an argument with her boyfriend, who was a former pay piggy, who gave her upwards of $2 million, by the way. She's not only not paying any attention to the road while live streaming on the internet, she also physically assaults the guy, like smacks him upside the head so hard that he starts bleeding out of his nose. Like she broke his fucking nose because she clocked him good, right? And then he starts pulling on her hair, and it gets more and more physical, and eventually the live stream cuts out. And then later we get body cam footage from the cops who showed up to arrest her. Yeah, that's this lady. That's her. Yeah, she was surprised that hitting this guy and making his nose bleed was illegal, and that he should go to jail just because he's a jerk. Like, this is supposedly an adult. What does that make
her? If he's a jerk, what is she? You know,
I just don't understand this mentality. And again, a lot of this is just people in the chat, people on the live stream, just telling her that everything she's doing is right. She's great. Here's $1 million. You know, like it's this mentality that bugs me. And it also it reinforces a lot of mental illness. Like, I'm not going to talk too extensively about the guy, but there's another guy called Fauci, I think. And he basically was bipolar, and he was live streaming a literal psychotic break. And his chat was egging him on, urging him to go more and more extreme. And that ended badly. And then you got people like, former celebrity Andy Dick, who winds up being held hostage by a live streamer. No shit. Held hostage just to be on a live stream 24/7. That's it. His whole life was just being on camera. And this Andy Dick, in case you don't know, is a drugged out ex-celebrity who has gone down the rabbit hole about as far as you can go, to the point where now he's living on a bed in some live streamer's house, or at least was, like, as recently as a year ago. Culturally, what is this saying? Like, I really find this disturbing, and I've got more examples, but I don't need to go any further. Like, it's not just kids, and it's not just, idiots who don't understand the internet. It's people who get drawn into this parasocial relationship with other people on the internet, and it turns into this weird feedback loop where they're going to these extremes and losing their sense of what's right and what is human. That bugs me. That bugs me a lot.
Yeah. People have lost themselves in, social media, the internet, different chat groups, so on and so forth. And they've lost the idea of what is right and wrong in the real world. And they think that reinforcement equals, positive reinforcement equals correct. And it's like, that's not it at all. That's not.
Yeah, this is just another version of
that's. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like the echo chamber. Yeah. I didn't think of it
just because a lot of people are saying you're good for doing this doesn't mean you are actually good for doing this. You can be a horrible fucking person and make horrible fucking decisions and do horrible things. And, people are going to egg you on and say that you're great and that they love you and so on and so forth. And,
And they might not even
ultimately
mean
you're
it,
just-
like if you're Johnny
Yeah.
Somali.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Some of them might be genuine and some of them might not be, but there's a whole lot of, I've seen it out there. Just a whole lot of like taking sides and a whole lot of just like living in the reality that the echo chamber, living in the reality that they are most exposed to. And just because they live in that space, they think that everything in that space is correct.
Right.
You know,
And all these people that I've
named,
named, I'm sure you don't know these names, but these people think that they are famous because they are so awesome. You know, every single one of these people thinks that.
No, you're famous because you're so. You're
It's like that
ridiculous.
Elisa Jordana body cam footage. She actually says, "Don't you
you're so
know who I am? You can't arrest me."
You're so pathetic.
I was on Howard
That's why
Stern.
people know you. Yeah, it's just like Johnny Somali.
I blame
is-
Jackass.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was
Jackass,
going to
yeah.
bring that up. Thank you, Joe. It reminds me a lot of Jackass. It really does. The whole concept.
I don't blame Jackass because
I don't
like,
blame Jackass. I said it
this-
reminds me of
because-
Jackass.
No, because like
Well, a lot of these people did
Hen-
start as
Henry-
prankster YouTubers.
Yeah.
So yeah.
well, I was gonna say because like if you think about it, like Winchell, like you had like people like this like it goes back to like all the way back into to the
South Korea, Marilyn Monroe.
it goes like even all back to like the 20s and stuff like that when you're like the celebrity like tabloid like all of this stuff like it's been around. It's just it's just grown to
Well,
such an extent.
the obsession with other people, I get it, that part of it from the tabloids and whatnot, but the doing stupid shit for attention is where I was kind of going with it.
But
you know, it's
you
like
had celebrities all the time doing that.
I mean, that is what celebrity is a lot of the time. Yeah.
Yeah,
We also had
like,
America's Funniest
wait
Home
a minute.
Videos once upon a time too. That was
Right.
people doing stupid shit for
Right.
Anyway.
You know how many
Their
people got
videos
hit in
of
the
it,
balls
like-
for that show?
right,
A lot.
purposely,
lot.
right? Like you start watching the later videos, and they're not like initially it was all like, hey, look, this is a funny home video
It was
that we had or
candid.
whatever.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It's much more. Thank you, Damien. It was
Yeah.
much more candid.
Yeah.
And then
It's one of the reasons the show fell apart is because it started feeling staged because people were doing all kinds of crazy shit just to make money.
Yeah, people
Just to get
people
on
were
there and
staging it
win
all to get on it.
$30,000.
Yeah.
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 So-
And so like what I'm trying to say is like it's just it's not anything new. It's just it's metastasized.
Yeah, that's a good
Right?
way.
It's
of thinking
a
about it.
tumor.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a tumor that's grown out of control. Right?
Well, I
Like,
think
this
as
is
with
a-
any
this is a-
cultural phenomenon, it's something that's always there in the background of culture. It's just in the modern age, something has changed and it's come to the forefront and been more exaggerated and
well,
become
part
I
of
think, more
it's-
of a problem.
Part of it's like when once upon a time it was harder to capture those types of events. Like you couldn't just not everybody had a video camera. You couldn't just go out and do that. So it was all like we got away with doing stupid shit too. I'm sure. I mean, Scott,
We
you and
got
me-
it. Oh yeah.
we
We
did
got a
the
Oh,
lot.
crap.
away
yeah,
with
stupidity
a lot of
runs
things
rampant,
that didn't,
obviously.
Yeah, that didn't follow
We just didn't
us, right?
record it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That would be
I'm-
evidence against us. So
I'm sure in the olden days, the village idiot might play it up a little bit just to get like a little extra money for food,
I'm sure, yeah.
Well, like and also like you had people paying off the village, crier, the town crier, like in order to spread propaganda and things like that. Like that happened
for
in
sure.
Rome, that happened in England,
My
that happened
last,
in all.
That's what my last name means is town crier. But anyway,
Really?
Oh, is
I
it?
didn't
Oh,
know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So, it just like what this phenomena. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I had to.
Shit, it's in my head. It's in
I
my
know,
head.
it's irreversible.
It's like a fungus.
So, and all I want to do is mate.
Damn it! Now my genitals are gonna fall off.
You'll take a piss and
No, but no, like
No, please come back, Stanley. Don't go down the
he
drain.
wouldn't
Don't go down
notice
the
though.
drain.
He's used to hearing something hit the toilet when he pulls it out anyway.
yeah, exactly, right. There's the familiar.
The good news
splash.
is there's no way you can flush it. It's not going to go down.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
I can always, maybe we can sew it back on, whatever.
Detective-
Trim off the infected bit and sew it back on. It'll be all right.
Yeah, very good, Scott. Detachable penis.
Yeah, and
That's the next upgrade, Eric.
That's yeah.
I'm on it.
That's what I was waiting for. I was
You
waiting
got
for
the
the
bionic
key
ears
missile.
and yeah.
Now that we're well into the stream, we can.
Yeah, they have those for guys that have erectile issues that you can just actually get the implant that all it does is just permanently and just bends accordingly or whatever as you need it, and so just make
Whatever happened to a rubber band and a popsicle stick? I mean, come on.
Well, a few no I'm just kidding.
Splinters, Eric. Splinters. You got.
That's why you use a condom.
Oh,
Put a condom on. You do
there
that
you
first,
go.
then the rubber band and the popsicle stick,
so
then
she-
another one.
So she. Oh, I was gonna say. So she
Yes,
gets.
there you
splinters,
go.
But you've already got
Joe
it figured
knows.
out, Joe. All right. Awesome.
I got the
Yeah, I figured
logistics taken care of.
Yeah.
It's like
He's
Two
like,
layers
I thought
of
about
check
check
that.
down. I know how to do this. We got this.
Joe's
Yeah.
like,
And make sure the
Snorkel,
band is
an
tight enough
avocado.
that, you know.
Get me
But
a
not too
snorkel,
tight.
an avocado, and an ice pick, dude. I've made bongs with less.
We're gonna MacGyver the hell out of this shit.
I was about to say, Joe
Nice.
was, when he was watching MacGyver, he was like, but how can I relate this to my penis? That was what he was doing as a child. But no, I like to kind of put it in healthcare terms or whatever. Like, we always have cancer cells, right? But our immune system is constantly destroying them, right, and killing them off. So like we have cancer cells all the time throughout our, and so that's why like they don't do full body MRIs, because they're gonna find something, and most of the time it's
Yeah,
nothing.
at any given
Your
time,
body
there's
will
like
take
10 things wrong with you, but your body will take care of it. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. And so, because you're just gonna like it's more expensive. That's why it's like, I feel like they should do more. Actually, we're finding that we need to do not more. It depends on the area. It depends on the field. But like, some things we need to do more. Some things we need to do a lot less. Just like the antibiotics, right? So, anyways, you constantly have cancer cells. Your immune system, takes care of that. And that's why they say that cancer is a disease of the immune system, because your body's no longer able to keep up, right, with the growth of things and stuff like that. If we look at like these issues of society in that kind of framing, it's that the immune system that we had in order to prevent a lot of these things is now gone by the wayside, right? So mental health providers have been like trying to, like, I remember like in the early aughts, there was a Life magazine cover called like the me generation. And I'm like, that's someone from the me generation upset that they got called the me generation and by their parents. And now they're going to turn around and do it to these whippersnappers. Right. And I like, come on. But what it was actually, one of the things that we were trying to talk about was the concerning growth and concerning rates predicted and starting to be noticed of the trend of personality disorders, right? The rising trend of personality disorders, right?
Well, it's all because we stopped public flogging. We need to bring that back.
No, that's no. Just I'm just talking about since the turn of the century, right? Is what I'm talking like the concerns, and it goes to kind of what you bring up a lot, Eric, is the latchkey kid, right? And this transition that by not having parents in the home, we don't have like, this is not for anyone to answer, but anyone that's watching this, how many times, what percentage of your kids' YouTube or social media like videos like that they're watching, how much of that are you yourself watching? None of us answer. And I don't want anybody to answer except to themselves, right? Because you're going to be honest to yourself, hopefully, right? How much of that are you actually watching with them? And how much do they just kind of watch by themselves? How much of their TV shows are you watching with them, right? Because like this, so the new documentary, not the relatively new now, it's a few weeks old on Max. Quiet on the Set. That came out about like about Nickelodeon, and the Nickelodeon shows and that whole
that's some disturbing
experience.
shit. Yeah.
Oh my god! Like I watched the whole thing. Like I didn't watch the last episode where they're like kind of talking to people, but like I watched the whole thing. There's some issues that I have with the documentary,
but what they expose is definitely disturbing. Yeah.
And again, but they're overall minor things, right?
Yeah.
They're mild compared to what they actually found, right? There's a couple, like, again, nobody's perfect in anything. Like, again, and I say this from like not a discounting, but from like when you like review research articles and stuff like that. Anyone who actually researches and not Google, but when you go into research, they talk about what are the weaknesses of our study, right?
Well, of course,
and what can be done, next time, so, and what have you. When you're doing, when you're putting it up for clinical review, like that's what they're doing is they're saying like this, what about this? Why wasn't this chosen? That blah, 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 blah. Like they're critiquing it in a constructive way. Right. So that's why, so like the few things that I have are meant in that kind of capacity, not to discount, but to say, this was great. Here's how we can make it better next time. Right. And this is what more needs to come out. Right. So I've even thought about like going on here and like doing a video about like each episode and the things that were brought up and pros and cons with each one. But no, like with that, how many of us were watching our kids, how many of the parents were watching those shows with the kids that now we're seeing it and we're like, wait, what? Because how were we as parents so unaware when
and this shit was like right there to see. Like if you were watching Ariana
Absolutely.
Grande with the potato, I mean, you had to know there was something
or
fucked
the
up
water
going on.
bottle
Or the water bottle. Yeah. What the fuck? That was on network TV for kids? What the shit?
The water bottle wasn't.
The water
That
bottle
was on
wasn't,
the
but
internet.
the potato was.
Yeah, the potato was.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but the
Must
you have no
missed
idea what I'm
something,
talking
because
about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
She's fondling a fucking potato like it's a cup.
Trying to get the juice out. She's got it like this.
Louise,
trying
get the juice out. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
And then with the water bottle, she's laying on a bed upside down. And she's like, I'm going to try and drink it. I'm just going to try and drink. And she spills it all over. Right?
She's lying on a bed with her head back. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Kids show.
Well,
Any
the
adult
kids
male
know what the innuendo is there, though. I mean,
No. I like most of the kids, I would say absolutely have no idea.
So
they think that she's just trying to, right? But here's the thing. You say that, right? Like they don't know what it's not that big of a deal. Two things. It implants the seed, right?
Oh, it implants the seed. All right, Scott.
Yes.
Of all the terms,
we're talking about kids.
Of all the phrases.
We're talking about kids.
Where's the bump?
It plants the seed. It plants the seed. No. We're talking about kids.
He's fucking doubling down. Just use a different phrase.
No, because it later comes back. Okay, and like I'm talking about kids here. You guys want to twist it however you want.
You can plant all the seeds with
You're
kids
the one saying
want,
planting
Scott.
seeds.
I don't want
expecting us to not laugh about it. Do you know the show?
We're all 12-year-olds here, man. Come on. Seriously.
With kids, when we're talking about kids, that's where we like. I was hoping we'd step aside from that. But no, like we're talking about
you
children.
clearly overestimated
When we start
us.
talking about kids, I automatically revert to being a 12-year-old. I mean,
I think of my two daughters, and I don't like. I hope you would too.
Okay, Scott. Okay.
Like no, like so.
Go ahead and plant that seed. Let's go.
It puts a thought in the mind of because all of us guys, all guys at least, and probably most women are very familiar of the adult videos that's referencing, right? And so when when our daughters get that age or get older and they're asked before they're ready to do something of that ilk that they're not ready for, it already has been made okay because it was on a Nickelodeon show. So it must not be that bad.
But would they
Whether
make
they're-
the connection between the potato or the water bottle and the genitalia? of
Later
the
on,
male?
absolutely.
Okay.
Look, Ariana Grande
Absolutely later on,
herself
but-
has Ariana Grande herself has talked about this and how it has basically fucked her up as an adult. Like,
Yeah.
this is
She
serious
dated
shit. This
Pete.
isn't like
She dated Pete Davidson and thought that was okay. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
that
kidding.
no,
I'm
okay.
kidding.
Like, honestly,
Alright,
you
that's a
can't
bad
you
example,
can't really
though.
I
you
gotta
can't
let
really
that out.
dismiss it as like the kids just don't know. Like, I get what you're trying to say, but no, it does affect them later in life.
Okay. I see. I haven't seen any of these videos, so I don't.
If you
I don't
see
know
them,
how
you'd know,
explicit
man.
they
No, no,
are.
no.
So,
But-
It's pretty
but
explicit.
if I were to see
But
them, maybe
Damien-
I would have more,
But Damien-
common ground here on that. But
Like, I know you know the videos that I'm talking about.
I haven't
About-
seen them. So.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm talking about
ahead.
adult videos.
Yes. Oh, I know those ones.
You know the genre of which he speaks.
You know the
Yes,
genre
yes,
of
I'm
which I
well aware of
speak.
it. Yes. Yes.
Potato
Now-
porn.
A 12-year-old girl laying on the bed upside down, and all of a sudden a liquid goes on her neck and all over her face with her head upside down hanging off the edge. What has she been doing? That now that liquid is getting on there.
Well,
Right?
you
So-
use 12-year-old, and I would say hopefully not what you're saying, but
Right.
maybe
I'm- no,
18-year-old or above.
Look,
but,
I was
you
a
know,
pervert
so-
at 12. I totally would have gotten it.
No.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I-
okay.
yeah,
Same
me
with
too,
me.
me
At
too.
12, I would have known, but not
Yeah.
at like
But
8
this is,
or 7.
I'm
or
saying 12.
9
This is
even, so.
Ariana Grande was 12 at this time.
Oof.
Right? Like,
Okay.
yeah. Like she was very, very, very young at this time.
Okay.
And so, and I'm using that phrasing because again, this is the girl that's on that bed, so that when I relate it to this, like as a parent, so that, because I know you haven't, you haven't seen, what we're talking about. You haven't seen the documentary.
No.
But that's why I'm trying to phrase it like that, because when you start to hear this, now your mind can kind of put 2 and 2 together, so that you're like, oh, I see why Scott and Eric are so disgusted by this, right?
Mhm.
And why I'm a little bit like, and again, also because of my history, I get a little bit more amped up by this.
I'll let you
Like,
guys talk about it. I haven't seen it, so but I
Yeah.
get what you're saying, and
Yeah.
I'm probably
It's-
100% agree. So
And so
There's
like,
also a lot of weird
I-
feet shit.
oh,
put that out there.
worse.
yeah. Which again, come on, you look up any, like there was, especially I don't know about so much now, but like there was a time like in the 2010s and the 20 teens, like you would put in a famous female actresses or a famous female's like name, and the first thing that pops up in Google was so and so's feet, and you're like, what? Why
I
is
have
this
never
such a
understood
thing?
the whole concept of a foot fetish, but not to knock those people with the hey, whatever
Well,
gets you off.
I can
but-
I can explain. Like if you think of if you think of the 2 feet together, the basic shape is
Yeah,
vulva-esque.
no.
I'm not trying to get you onto it. I'm trying to explain their perspective. So that's why. Okay. Well, you know what? Not even just you.
Fucking feet.
Anyone.
And we
Anyone
never know
that's-
where we're
that's
going
watching
with this
this.
show.
Anyone that's watching
dirty.
this, that is the
Well, that's the thing.
that
That's
is-
the kink.
That is
It's
what I have
dirty.
been explained. Well, in that part too, right? That there's a taboo with it, right? That it's atypical, right?
Or
And
you're just
so-
Quentin Tarantino and you've done way too much fucking coke.
if yeah. To all the foot fetish people out there, fine, whatever you like.
Don't
yeah,
yuck your
that's great.
It doesn't hurt
Yeah,
anybody.
I'm not
And
going to yuck
there's
your
plenty
yum.
of things.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
there are plenty
There's a lot of worse
out
things
there.
than that out
Yes.
there, but I will never understand. So don't even try to convince me.
I'm not trying to
Don't
convince
try to
you.
explain. I don't care.
I'm not trying to explain. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm trying to help you understand, because through empathy comes understanding and compassion and love for one another. Through
Hey,
understanding.
I got a thing about butts. I mean, hey, they're dirty too. So
Yeah. So
All you other mothers can't
So-
deny.
right. And so like when this thing comes out, right? This documentary comes out.
Yeah. Okay.
That when we start to sit there and think about like we're all like everyone's all shocked and surprised. Why were parents not watching it with their kids at the time, right? And again, we can all wag our finger at one another and for shame, but like whenever you point the finger at someone, there's three pointing right back at you, right? And
Bless
so and so that's why like when we talk about like this behavior by these kids, like that's a real thing that we need to be mindful of the fact that for a long time we've been keeping parents from being able to be parents because we've been again, now we just came out that you have to have 120 grand in order to own a home, nowadays. like you have to make $120,000 like on average in the US in order to like own a home and stuff, or to buy a new home. Like that's crazy.
Fuck it. Start IRL streaming.
I know, right? Right? God, like
Get you a, what was it? Bunny? What was it called? The woman with the guy.
Oh, the pay piggy. You need pay
Piggy.
piggies. That's what you need.
Piggy.
Yeah.
Hey pig. Yeah, you. Sorry,
Piggy,
9 Inch Nails.
pig.
yeah, I know, no, exactly. That's exactly like yes.
We all know.
Yeah. I was doing it too. I was just in my head going, yeah.
The other term is
song.
lol cow, like somebody who you literally milk for content, somebody who's just so ridiculous. You make content making fun of this person. That's a lol cow.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
and
So I just
like,
skimmed the video that you sent, and yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
See?
Just skimmed it. I didn't watch
Yeah.
watch it. I just kind of skimmed it real quick in like 30 seconds.
Location
Yeah.
has a big part of that, I think, is
Yeah, she's
that
in a
and
bedroom.
like
Yeah,
the whole
bedroom
time.
and all
And-
that.
yeah.
Yeah. and
so,
the squishy
not right.
thing that she had, it's just
yeah,
And she has
there's a
said
whole-
she was uncomfortable. She didn't exactly know it was uncomfortable.
I'm
there's
she
a
knew
whole
something was
lot
wrong.
There's a whole lot wrong with that whole thing.
And there's like a whole team of people.
And her
filming
parents
this.
didn't
like,
say
there's a whole
anything?
lot of people there.
see that's her parents didn't step in.
No. No. How they kind of separated. And again, this is like grooming stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and it details a particular person's experience of true grooming, where they wedge the kids away from the parents and get kind of between. And also parents, like for some of these kids, they're making so much money that they're actually able to survive. Like the families are able to survive. So some of the parents are afraid that if they speak up, that then they're going to cost their kid a job, right? And if they don't get this, if they ruin here, then they won't be able to get a job anywhere. They won't be able to do anything like that. Like the family, like, and you can shake your head, but like,
No, it's just
what do you tolerate? Like, how much do you tolerate? Like, am I going to are we going to be homeless and not eat because, well, she had to pour some water on her neck.
It's just water after all.
Right. And all of these rationalizations that we do because of surviving for a need to survive.
Look,
right?
I'm from Orlando. This happened in Orlando, but also like I was also around during the boy band craze. You know, I had met Lou Pearlman personally. I've touched the man. I'll never live that down.
At least he didn't
shook his hand.
Yeah, at least he didn't touch you. Yeah,
You touched him, huh, Eric? You touched him. Mm.
Shook his hand. I shook his hand.
Touching
Is that what they're calling it now?
Touching you, sweet Lou Pearlman. Bum, bum, bum.
ruining a perfectly good song.
I know, totally. Totally.
I used to kind of like that song, and now
I know, right? Now I wonder why.
Now I'm not sure if I can listen to it again the same. way.
Yeah. So it's just again that's so when we look at like this like finger wagging that it's a systemic issue that we have stopped fighting for ourselves, for our children, for our society, and arguing for our own decency and rights, right? And by doing so, our kids are now carrying the burden, right? Whether that's decades to come with the neglect that we're doing for just maintaining what was passed on to us, or more immediate in the cases of like, Quiet on the Set and Lou Pearlman and all of these cases, right? Because again, like this is winning the lotto, right? Like how many of us would have loved to win the lotto? That's what this is. And like,
sadly, I lost again on Wednesday, but
I know, didn't we all? But no, like
you'd have known if I'd have won. Like, where's that property you've been looking at, Scott?
There'd be signs. I'd have dental care. I'd have like that MRI that I've been putting off. I'd have. There'd be signs I won the lotto. No, sorry. What were you saying, Eric?
He wasn't saying he's eating.
No, it's like I thought you were going to talk longer, Scott. Don't do this to me. And so no. But no, I just like it's like the old classic joke, right? We weren't talking about whether or not you're a prostitute. Now we're just arguing over price, right? When they're like, would you do this for $1 million? Oh yeah. Would you have sex with this person for, $10 million? Would you have sex with them for $1 million? What about like 500,000? What about like
indecent proposal?
50?
Yeah.
I'm not a prostitute. Like, what are you talking about? Well, no, we've already established that. Now we're just haggling over price.
We're
right?
all
like,
prostitutes. That's
absolutely.
I'm a YouTuber,
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, I
get that Patreon
always,
money.
Yeah,
I
man.
always,
especially since I'm going to get
anytime-
demonetized for my next video.
Are you really?
My next video is at least going to get age restricted. There's no way. It's just yeah.
No, I instantly, like, anytime someone says money doesn't influence. Oops, sorry. Money doesn't influence. I immediately, like, especially those newspaper people and all that, like, who's your biggest ad revenue? And I want you to come and say something terrible about them right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh, you won't. Because they'll stop paying ads or they'll get you fired for doing an expose on their company.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well then maybe if it's going to influence you, maybe it'll influence everybody else. And again, like as a healthcare worker, I used to get pins with drugs on their names, like the names of brand drugs, right? And a law was passed preventing that, because a study showed that this like $2, not even $2, like this 50-cent pen affects provider prescribing.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Of course it does.
Right?
That's why they did it.
Right. Let alone like going on a yacht and all these cruises and, trips that they were doing for like, I never saw. Like, not that it didn't
heads
happen.
of hospitals and whatnot, probably.
No, like people much better than I. So like,
Look, if Eli Lilly wants to give me a cruise to Shilsum at Foreman, I'll do it.
Right? I will suck a dick. No.
No, you do that for free, I know.
I do it all the time. And so like
He does that out of the sheer love of it.
yeah,
I do it for the love of the game.
it's not a job if you love it. Right? It's a passion.
And it's nutritious.
All right. Got to get
dinner.
that protein. I got to get 120 grams of protein every day. Like
That's a lot.
I don't
That's
think I can do
lot
that.
But no, like
20 grams.
You
That
get,
is a lot.
I'm sure you could get people to send it to you in the mail, Scott.
I know, right?
There are artists who do
No.
get it and turn
No,
it into things.
hey, I am not a welfare king. Okay? I work for my jism. And so,
He was trying to decide what word should I use. What word?
I
What
bet
word?
if you,
I like how far do I want to take this one? But
you could do baking
Jism?
videos where you bake it into things like cupcakes and then you eat them for your fans, you know.
Good for the skin. Good
Yes,
for
yeah.
the skin.
Or yeah, even that too. Yeah, there you go. Yes. It's just you put it on right here and then it takes the bags away.
motherfucker.
Foot cream. It's good foot cream.
And for anyone questioning that is not a reference to like gay men or anything like that. That is Cheech Marin is who did that. Okay, who did Good for the Skin. That is a Cheech and Chong reference, not a reference to any kind of gay guy.
Put it in the beard, Scott.
That's right. Yeah, right.
No, you put it in your hair.
I got like, did you see my eyes in that moment? Yeah, that's a great idea.
You can spike
like-
it, like you
you
can style it.
Just
and
put
kinda-
it right over that way.
Yeah.
Up this way.
I got way too enthusiastic about that.
And that's a something about Mary reference right there. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Anyways, on that note, we're gonna take a brief. We have an official sponsor. We finally have a sponsor, so we're gonna take a break, a quick, brief break to talk about our sponsor. Okay, it's not long, so don't go anywhere, guys.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important announcement.
Do you have trouble sleeping, functioning in your daily life, or remembering things? Are you tired of your brain constantly malfunctioning on you? Do you just think and feel too much? Well, come on over to Cerebellums, the world's leading expert in dealing with overactive mental strain. Our state-of-the-art professionals will scoop out that troublesome lizard brain of yours and replace it with 100% natural American-grown sawdust from the finest cedar this side of the Mississippi, ensuring that you'll no longer have to stress and strain over all those annoying thoughts and feelings. Once again, that's Cerebellums, available in all 50 states except New Jersey. Contact your local offices today, and remember our motto, no brain, no pain. These statements have not been evaluated by the United States Food and Drug Administration and do not represent the opinions of any medical professionals. Side effects of the patented scoop and replace procedure may include chronic drowsiness, dry mouth, total lack of affect, permanent catatonia, persistent incontinence, extreme memory loss, and getting smothered to death by a large Native American man. Do not undergo the procedure if you are allergic to cedarwood. Cerebellums worked for me.
And thank you, Cerebellums, for that wonderful ad.
Yeah, I thought about using that product, but I'm allergic to cedar, so I
know.
I can't unfortunately partake in such procedures, because
Worked great for me.
did it. Yeah, I'm glad it worked for you, Joe. Yeah.
That
He's
is
wearing
the
that hat
correct
behind-
answer.
Oh, sorry. Whoops.
He's wearing that hat to
Damn.
hide the scars,
Yeah.
It's got the right there.
Yeah, sorry. So sorry about that, Joe. I didn't mean to blow out your ears.
Yeah, it's
And anyone.
He doesn't
and
need
the-
them.
he-
Because the brain.
That's right.
yeah. Surprised I reacted still.
I know.
I must have
right?
missed a spot. Have to go in for a second session. Yeah.
Okay, so
Get that ice cream scoop in there one more time.
I think it's a subscription service, and it's yeah. I got to go back in, otherwise it starts losing effect. I'm not
You
quite sure.
got to pay monthly. You got to pay monthly.
Yeah, it must be.
so
They'll shut
on
it back
this one-
in.
So. All right, so we got 30 minutes, y'all, and 2 more topics to discuss. So so next we have Joe. Why don't you go ahead and talk about your topic there, my friend?
Well, since we were just kind of like brainstorming ideas, mine mainly was kind of like to be like I guess a jumping off point, but I don't know if anybody has ever heard of Faith Ringgold. She's a artist, mixed media artist, but she was also an activist, and she just recently passed on the 12th of April. And I've been trying, like with my therapist and talking and just reading and stuff like that. I've been trying to, I guess, educate myself more in different areas that I should know more about, and others that that are just like obscure but want to learn more about. Mainly for art idea, for myself, because what I'm wanting to try and do is, as I'm learning about a topic, as I'm reflecting on what I'm learning, make something and kind of show how I'm feeling about that particular subject or whatnot. And she's a good person to to kind of look over and look at her body of work. Um, she was born in Harlem during the Great Depression and was one of the first few females to go to City College. Of course, she was restricted in what she could study, and she wound up going into art, even though she already had a passion for art. And she's done a lot of civil rights activism and women's rights activism, because I mean, at first it was started off with base civil rights, just trying to get more black artists into museums and galleries, where she was at, and they were eventually go, yeah, okay, we'll let y'all show some pieces. All the men come on in, we'll sit down and talk about it. And so her and all the women artists that were out there protesting and trying to get seen just get shoved to the side. So so she kind of picked up that mantle too. And it's just something that's kind of been bugging me about not having a stronger voice in things that I agree with and disagree with, and putting it out there for the world, and seeing my son with a lot of the projects that he's working on with school, and how active he gets with the stuff going on with the school system now, with the book bannings and all this other stuff. Seeing him picking up the mantle with the other kids in his generation kind of makes me, it's kind of reignited, like, I guess when we were teenagers, that kind of angst about certain things, and just wanting to speak my mind and put my creative talents towards other things other than just making pretty shit. So, and it kind of touches on the other stuff about educating and learning, and finding the right sources, stuff that we've already kind of mentioned today with when you're when you're researching, when you're googling stuff, learning how to find the proper sources, reliable sources, not just going down some random rabbit hole, but try and have a plan as to how you're doing it. And plus it gives, like, it feels to me like I'm growing more because of that, and I have a lot of growing to do, and I don't know, it's just something that I think I would be prouder of than just, throwing stuff together, just, because I was doing that one thing a day, and it was just kind of like a random thing. But I want to try and be more thoughtful, I guess, and how I do it, and really think about what I'm doing, and seeing how kind of make it like a series pieces, like, and put them all together as I'm learning about a particular thing. Like, You know, I was discussing at work about Vietnam the other day, you know, and the Vietnam War and all the things that led up to, you know, and just learning more and more about their culture, you know, and all the things that go along with that, you know, just seemed like that would be kind of an interesting direction to start, and then just kind of go off from there, you know. And when I saw that she passed, and knowing her work and what an impact she's had on her own community and communities around the world now, I mean, because I mean, now her stuff's like all over the place, all over the world. And not that I think I would ever reach that kind of status, you know, but it's just, you know, it's just inspirational, I guess you would say. So
It's all about perspective when it comes to lots of things in this world. So
yeah, and getting out of your own head and looking at things from a different
yeah.
I would,
It's all,
but
it's
I
all
would
about
also,
perspective.
I'd be mindful about your statement, because if you look at like for her, you've got 60, 70, 80, 90, and 2000, right?
Mm-hmm.
40 years.
Oh yeah, I'm yeah.
So
She has been doing art her entire life.
absolutely.
You know.
But what I'm saying is be mindful of your discounting statement, right? That like I'll never reach a status of her.
Oh no.
Right,
I'm
right.
not discounting myself. It's just I'm not thinking that, you know,
that
I'm gonna have that, you know, much of an impact. Is I think I might have an impact locally or with my son alone, you know, but you know, that's not my goal.
exactly.
Right?
Okay.
You know, that's
Create
my
things
main
that
thing is leveling up my own education in things and extending my skill set, you know, and exploring not just myself and how I feel about the things that I'm learning and how it's going to change how I view things, but just, I don't know, just about the journey more than anything else.
Make things that mean something to you, and
Yes.
you know, later on, if other people gravitate towards that, just as they had for her, then you know that'll mean something. You know, if you make something for other people, then you're just, you know,
Yeah, I'm
just
not
an artist
good
for
at that.
hire.
Well, yeah, that's rule number one of art.
You might as well be a photographer.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah, I'm not good at that.
Not that I have a problem with wedding photographers. Lots of wedding photographers I know that are very good photographers as well. But anyway, several photographers that I know. So anyway,
Yeah, but I'm looking at it more as. Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I first encountered Faith Ringgold at MoMA, and honestly, I'm not a big modern art guy. I don't really like modern art. I think a lot of it is stupid, and honestly, I think a lot of the stuff you make could totally compete with stuff at MoMA. But her stuff was it really did draw me in. It really did draw my attention. I don't know if it was the color contrasts or something just about the way, like, a lot of her stuff, like you said, is mixed media, and you don't really get that from just looking at these pictures, but like a lot of them are like woven. There's a lot think like cloth
Quilts.
work and quilts.
She does
It's really
quilting,
cool.
I think quilting is a lost art that really needs to have more attention paid to it.
When you work with those different materials like she did, and she worked with, it wasn't just quilting. She did all kinds of stuff.
Oh, I know, yeah.
And like
sculpture, she's written books. Yeah, so yeah.
Whenever you get that tactile quality to it, and it's not just paint on a canvas. Not that there's nothing wrong with just paint on a canvas, but like it has a different feeling. It has a different qualia to it. You know, like I don't know how to describe it, but it definitely affected me a lot more than most of the other stuff at MoMA.
Having worked in mixed media, it can be very difficult. It really
I'm sure.
can be. Yeah. It's a really hard way to create art and still keep it like still achieve the look you're going for. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get to the point. It's like, because if you use the wrong product for the some of the media, then it ruins the whole thing. But anyway, back to your point, Eric. You can continue. So
No, I was pretty much done. Basically,
okay.
I'm sorry I didn't know more about her, but what little exposure I did have to her was definitely effective enough that I recognized the name when you said it. So she obviously had an impact on the world. If like I know the name, if for no other reason than I saw her work in a whole museum of art that I hated, I liked hers. So
yeah. Some of her stuff's pretty interesting too, because some of it's like pop arty, and some of it's very, very culturally, just her own perspective, her own experience kind of thing, that like if you haven't lived it, then you wouldn't quite get what this art
was
says.
That Thriller? Go down.
No. It was bad. It's called Who's Bad? 1988.
Oh, it is.
It's Michael Jackson.
Well, yeah, she.
That's right. Like pop art. Like no. I only brought that because she said pop artish, right? And I was like, oh yeah. I know exactly. It's this one right here.
But more along the lines of like the wordings, the word ones that she does, where it's like the words repeated with different colors and different backgrounds, but it's like that's very pop artish,
It's kind of Warhol.
A little bit Warhol. And then she's got repeated images that are slightly different, that are similar colors, different.
Basquiat is actually better.
That she took is from an African art style that she was inspired by. But if you go to the 60s, Scott, there's a piece called the American People series.
I was about to say the American People series. Yeah,
if you come down to where you see the American,
there it is, right there at the bottom, second in from the right.
Well, the bottom left, that one right there, was one of her first like real or popular ones, where she took influence from Picasso and his Guernica.
I can see that. Yeah.
And then if you go to this one that looks like a stamp, it's on the far right next to the American flag.
Yeah, I see
this
it.
one.
Yeah, if you can, I don't know if you can blow that up or not. I don't know if it'll open. But that one is when the term Black Power was coined, that she took inspiration from. The majority of the people represented in it are white, with only about 10% being black or people of color. And if you turn it to the side, I mean, you can obviously see the Black Power coming down at an angle, but if you your head to the side, to your right, you can see the hidden part that everybody knows about, but nobody talks about, kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
It says white power.
Yep, I see it.
So it's all these like subtle little, hidden things and all that. Yeah. And it's, she was a person that was not afraid to speak her mind and push for what she wanted. When she saw something she disagreed with, she would get out there. She'd been arrested for protesting, and never stopped her, and that's just something that, to me is like, not that I want to go out there and get arrested or anything, but, it's like, when you have something that's very important to you, it's something I feel I've failed in my life is not being more outspoken on things and being more active. And I see my son already getting roots in that, and I want to make sure he has the support, and he has the knowledge and the information to make good decisions with that, and then not get himself into trouble too much. But as what's the term? Good trouble. Go for that. not be afraid to speak his mind. You know? And
That was way too wholesome and meaningful.
was it?
For this show, yes.
There we go.
Fucking A. Fight the power.
Yeah, you can see it now.
There.
Yeah.
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 So I just wanted, I was like, oh, let me go ahead and get it so that people.
Yeah, there's a couple other ones on there that you might not want to pull up, but you know, other people can go and look at it.
Yeah.
There was actually one that she had out when a banker was sent some people to go pick up a painting for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's the other American. There's two, at least 3 American flags in that series, but it's the one that's more muted colors.
So.
But
Well, and so here's what I wanted to say about like your comment, Joe, is that, you know, with as far as like your impact, right? So you and I discussed like doing this like together or just having a conversation, right? Which evolved into bringing in Damien and Eric along with it too on a regular basis. Then we talked about like just recording it for posterity and for our kids. You turned it into a podcast that we all were like, oh, okay, sure. I guess, yeah. You're doing that? Fantastic. Okay. And we thought like if anybody was going to listen to it, it'd be people immediately in our circle. When we look at our podcast numbers, we're like, holy crap, like after the US, our largest number of viewers are from France. What?
They're laughing
Like-
at us. They're like,
Right,
you
yeah,
dumb
yeah,
Americans.
Stupid Americans. No, that's the French
As
Canadians.
they smoke on their you stupid Americans.
No, they're just like, no, they're just heartwarmed by the like hope that we have.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
they're more nihilistic and like,
There you go. Yeah.
exactly. They just, they're enjoying our
Yeah,
hope.
I don't
And
know
here we are.
anybody that has listened to this podcast.
Yeah. But
Other than
here
us.
we are like doing this and there's 11 people watching us right now. Like not giant numbers.
Don't
but
look at
but
me!
It is. I know, right? But there's like 11 people
No cameras.
on Twitter that are watching us right now. And so like,
Oh, they're on
that's
Twitter.
kind of cool. Yeah.
oh, cool.
They're
They only
using-
count as
have
like
a-
two-thirds
Those
of
are
a
bots.
person, right?
Those
right.
are bots.
They have a tolerance for
Hey,
stuff
bots are
that-
people too.
Yeah, I know, right? So, but
Is
no,
that
like,
your AI argument right there, Eric? Since you're like halfway there
Yes.
anyway.
so
I'm working on it. Yeah.
I would just so Joe, I would just go and I would challenge your statement because like I like your idea of doing it now with purpose. First you did it, now you're doing it with purpose, right? You're like this plan, right? Now you're like you did it, you showed that you can do it consistently, right? Now you're going to do it with purpose. Love that idea. But don't discount the fact of the difference that you can make, right? Because you may not change the world, but every person we come across is an opportunity to make a difference. And that again plants a seed that spreads.
Goes
through
Scott
tree
planting
sperm.
seeds all over the place again.
Just not with children. Don't do it with children. But no,
Just
like
with trees. Only with trees.
Only with trees. And so, yeah.
Or if you're a cicada, you plant a fungus.
All right.
and then, you know.
So now
get
we've
to
got
Scott.
a minute left.
I'll
So-
give you
Bill Maher
5.
sucks.
I'll
The
give you
end.
5 more.
No, Bill Maher wanted to kill. It says it's okay to kill babies. So all right, there we go. That was my So here I will play. Like I have it queued up. Okay, this is it's from Breaking Points, which is a show that I do like because they tend to have a conservative and a liberal or a
Not if
progressive.
you believe it's murder. You know, that's why I don't understand the 15-week thing. Or the Trump's plan is, let's leave it to the states. You mean, so killing babies is okay in some states? Like, I can respect the absolutist position. I really can. I scold the left on when they say, oh, you know what? They just hate women. People who aren't pro-life, pro-choice. They don't hate women. They just made that up. They think it's murder. And it kind of is. I'm just okay with that. I am. I mean, there's 8 billion people in the world. I'm sorry, we won't miss you. That's my position on it. What?
That's quite harsh, Bill.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not
Is
sure
that not your position if you're pro-choice?
Isn't that mainly because you don't like children? I mean,
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
no. I mean, but if you are, you said you're pro-choice. That's your position too.
So, yeah.
Okay. So that's normalizing one's own internal dialogue with the assumption that, like, so that is a process that we often do where we make the assumption that everybody thinks the same way that we think in order to feel like our assumption that our perspectives are normalized, right? So this projection of our perspectives to normalize it, because it
Again,
sucks
if you've
to
got
think,
Pierce Morgan telling you you're extreme, maybe rethink. What the fuck?
yeah, if
Go back to the
you-
drawing board.
like,
Yeah.
if you've got Pierce Morgan looking at you like, that's
I wouldn't go
kinda
that far.
crazy, right? Like, well, no, but that's what you think. No, that's not, right? And again, this is coming from this, and what to me this is something I am not for. But anyone who doesn't like that cannabis is becoming legalized throughout the state, this is your advertisement right here of why not to smoke cannabis on a regular, consistent basis, because you get this fucking stupid. Like, America, do you want to be this stupid? Then you should not smoke pot. Like,
Well, let's
like
keep
on
one
a-
thing in perspective
all
here,
day,
is
every day. Like,
Bill
let me phrase
Maher
it that
has
way.
no kids, and he has said many times that he hates kids.
Oh, yeah.
So he is biased as all get out as
No,
far
And
but
as
he's
I-
an
I
awful
don't think-
fucking human being.
Yeah,
I fucking
Yeah.
hate
no,
Bill
he's a
Maher.
terrible person. Yeah, he's a horrible person. I don't.
He
think
thinks
this is
if you get
associated with
cancer,
this.
it's your fault.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
literally,
like-
he said that.
I don't think this is because he hates kids. I just think he doesn't like. He is fully in the there are less than people, and he's okay with that, right? That
All Malthusians, man. Scratch a Malthusian, you'll get a eugenicist.
right, right.
Yeah?
It is psychotic. Like, this is crazy, man. So this concept that because he takes the assumption that life begins at conception, which is a weird thing to be pro-life or pro-choice and to believe, right? But he's pro-choice even though he believes that life begins at conception, which again,
isn't he Jewish?
no.
He's
He-
not.
he was
Okay,
raised
I thought he
Catholic.
was. Okay,
No, he
my
was raised
bad. I'm
Catholic.
sorry. I thought he was. Because I was going to say the Jews don't believe that life begins at conception. They believe it begins at birth, according to the.
It used to not
Okay.
be a big Christian thing either
No.
until back in the day.
I'm
they started
gonna
pushing.
read y'all. Like, okay, this is one thing I've been wanting to do. I've got my Bible right up there. I will read you the actual
Oh,
section
I've read it before. I'm good.
that
You
tu-
know,
that
I
talks
you don't
know
not
have
it
to,
says.
y'all.
man.
All right. But I want to read it out there and put it out there that the Bible tells you how to properly have an abortion. Like,
Yeah,
it says it.
if the husband believes the wife had cheated on him,
right.
mix this concoction up, drink it, and if,
don't mix it. Take it to a priest. The
well,
priest will
yeah,
mix
but
it.
but anyway, she'll drink it, and if it's
A
true
man
that she
of
had it, she'll
God
abort,
will
yeah.
make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A man of God will make this poison for her to drink, and if she miscarried, it was adultery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is an
Fundies don't
abortion.
actually care what the Bible says.
No.
It's
Okay,
just
absolutely
it's just
no.
a pretext. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as long as it's, if it was a pregnancy outside of marriage, it's damned anyway. So you know.
Can't be baptized anyways. So I like. First off, like for him to be like pro-choice. So to me, it actually has an extra layer of evil, right? Because he's like, no, all life begins at conception. But then, yes, I'm aware, Damien. All life begins at conception, but I'm okay if you kill them. Like, what kind of sociopath are you? Like, and he is like his
I wish
mind
his
rot.
mother had had an abortion.
Oh, right? Like his mind rot is why he is like feeding into the Obama death panels that we're still waiting on. Like because he is like, yes, I gave that man $1 million because I want those Obama death panels. Like,
I think he wants to be on one.
Yeah, I know, right? I think so too.
Yeah. The only death panels that exist are the ones at your health insurance company.
Trust
well,
me, I fight them
they
all
are
the time.
there. Believe it or not.
I fight the death panels. They're just corporate death panels. That's what they don't tell you.
Yeah.
Like, it's not from
It's
the
going to
government.
cost too much to.
Well, they're
It's going to
subsidized
cost
by
too
the
much to
government,
keep you alive.
Now they are. Now they are.
Yeah.
Obama.
now they are.
did
Thank
that.
you, Obama.
Thanks, Obama. He
They
did
might
that.
be
Life support's
subsidized, but
using
they're
too
making
much
these decisions
electricity.
all on their own.
All
They're
on
not-
their own. That's right.
It's
That's
has
right.
nothing to do with. There's no government
The
interaction.
government
here.
isn't. Yeah, the government didn't incentivize them to do that. We're just paying them to do that for us.
If anything,
They
the
incentivize
government would incentivize them to keep these people alive because then they can collect more premiums. But anyway,
we're using our own tax dollars to tell us that we don't deserve our health care or our health or our life. That's the absurdity of it. So anyways, okay. All right. With that, we will see y'all in 2 weeks. I like this roundtable kind of idea unless there's something that's earnestly like itching at us. Like I like this concept of being able to talk about
that
a bunch of
fungus
different stuff. Yeah. Oh. Good
And
old
honestly,
fungus.
if you had given me an over/under on what time we'd actually be finished with, I would not have even guessed it only 7 hours late or 7 minutes late.
No.
Really?
7 hours.
I'm
It's about to be
surprised.
8
7
minutes,
hours
even
would make
9,
sense.
you know?
Yeah.
Over under 7 hours.
yeah.
Over under 7 hours. No. I'm trying to be respectful and do the hard outs of 90 minutes and
So like I think in the future we'll just get better and better at it. So yeah, I think this works.
We might even
This is a good
finish
idea.
early one day. Oh my god. Oh, could that happen? No.
I do that all the time.
No.
Premature.
Oops. We're done.
You
Never
gotta
mind,
learn
sorry.
how to edge it.
Yeah.
You know what? Do you think Sting is still doing tantric?
Did you come?
I don't think Sting can do tantric anymore. Like that's got to be out of the question.
Oh, that's funny.
Like anyways, so
Anyway. So it was
all right,
fun.
so see y'all in 2 weeks. Much love. And we'll come up with some ideas and guys get
If y'all have any ideas y'all want us to discuss too, throw them out.
Yeah, if you comment, I'll pass that along to the
Look
guys.
at Joe remembering we have an audience.
I know,
we have an audience.
13. We're up to 13
Hey,
now. Just as
Now,
we're leaving.
If we start asking the audience for stupid ideas and we start going down that rabbit hole of
No, we're not doing that stuff. No.
we are not doing the Johnny Somali thing. If you guys want us to like discuss something stupid and ridiculous that we already haven't like covered,
we
stupid
will
and
slap
ridiculous.
each other in the
But,
mouths. We won't be grabbing much hair because there isn't much to grab, but we will slap each other.
There's plenty. What are you talking about?
Yeah. There we go.
See, that's why I keep mine short so people can grab it. You know.
Yeah, there's
Grab 'em
not
by the
too much
short
to go
hairs.
into.
Right. But anyways, yeah. So if you guys have ideas, pass them. Make comments. I would love anything that you want us to discuss or talk about. And much
Hit
love.
that like button.
See y'all in 2 weeks.
Yeah, hit that like button, that
like,
subscribe button, and don't forget to
Like.
go check Eric out and Scott's new channel.
Oh yeah. So Eric has the Unapologetic Geek on YouTube. Go ahead, Eric. Talk about it. What do you have coming out? That will get you
Well, tomorrow I'm doing a live
demonetized?
stream on the Twilight Zone because I finished the first season and I'm going to be giving away a DVD box set. But a week after that, I'm going to be covering the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and that is definitely going to get age restricted, if not fully demonetized. I've just assumed that going into it. I just finished recording my audio for it today, so I'm hard at work. And I've got all of the songs stuck in my head in a medley, just on a loop constantly.
Are you going to sing your intro?
No, I'm not going to do that.
No?
I thought about it.
Oh.
Nah, I don't think so.
Come on.
I might. Maybe. I'll think about it.
Eric,
I know I can't play the actual music.
Hey, Eric is from transsexual Transylvania. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
love that song. Anyways.
He is
yeah,
transhuman
that's it.
after all. So
And then
Yes.
I do have another channel called Harold the Hatter, where I do family friendly gaming videos, and Wednesday a Pal World episode dropped, and then next Wednesday episode 3 of my Wrexham series, We Are Wrexham, drops. And so we had a wonderful sideline reporter who is now part of our show, and I'm curious if you guys can figure out who that might be. So check it out.
It's Kermit.
And yes, it is Kermit. And so that's the old partner. But anyways, much love, everybody. Check those out. Harold the Hatter and the Unapologetic Geek. Joe does Raw and Unprepared, as is behind him. What did I say?
Yeah.
Unapologetic.
I'm trying to get up.
Drinking.
Like we're
Have you
so
been
close.
drinking, Scott?
Not yet.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
that's your
it's like,
problem.
I know we're at 7. We're at 7. I'm like, oh crap! Now we're at 11. Oh crap! We're getting into 7. 7 hours.
I'm just gonna keep pushing you harder.
I know, right? So Joe's got Ron Unprepared on Instagram. Check out. He does phenomenal art. And then you can follow us, like and subscribe and follow us on Facebook at
Something.
Twitter.
what is our show called? From Here to Paternity. We're on.
Where am I?
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. We're on. Y'all know that we're on Twitter at F Paternity, or the From Here to Paternity. We're also on YouTube at From Here to Paternity, and we do have a Twitch channel, but Twitch doesn't allow you to post recorded videos. And so, anyways, I'm trying to figure.
You got to go to
like
Kick. They'll do anything.
I know, right? And I'm hoping to eventually like edit some of these down so that we can create some shorts, and then we'll move some stuff onto TikTok. We do have a TikTok available. Damien, you're welcome to hit out anytime you need to. Okay, brother.
And there is a hidden OnlyFans page too.
Yeah. Well, no, we didn't, like, it wasn't used enough, and it got like closed, and so we don't have our OnlyFans anymore.
It was a good joke.
Oh, but no, we did have an OnlyFans, and so maybe I'll get that back up. But
peace out, y'all.
Much love,
I'm
Damien.
out.
Take care.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye, guys. We should
All right.
probably
Bye, everybody.